Welcome to Verse of the Day. I'm a little late today as we got into this, but not too late. So, I'm Brandon Hathaway. I'm the preacher at the Westside Church of Christ in Owensboro, Kentucky, and I thank you for joining me as we once again open up our Bibles and continue to study throughout the book of Psalms. Today we are in Psalm 35, Psalm 35, and looking at verses 15 and 16. Psalm 35 and verses 15 and 16. I hope that you'll open up your Bible and follow with me as we take a look at that. Here it reads, "But in my adversity they rejoiced and gathered together. Attackers gathered against me, and I did not know it. They tore at me and did not cease. With ungodly mockers at feast, they gnashed at me with their teeth." This is another psalm of David. And so a lot of the psalms that David had written points out how bad things can be, having enemies, and sometimes some doubt, maybe fear. Usually ends up with him at the end of the chapter just pointing out how he is saved through God. And so here throughout Psalm 35, again, he's continuously calling upon God to not allow his enemies to take over him, to mock him, to laugh at him, to believe that his God has forsaken him. And so here's another point here in these two verses that he makes and shows. Again, I believe that we have to understand that as followers of God, that life is not always easy. That as a Christian, as a follower of Christ, that as we are children of God, that it does not mean that life is just going to flow on by, that we're going to get along with everybody, and that things are just going to be easy as can be. As we read in Matthew 7, that you have two roads to choose from. One is not following God, and it's easy, and you get to go down this path, and it's broad, but the other path of following God, following in the footsteps of Christ, is narrow, and it is difficult. And so you have to make difficult decisions. You have to be willing to fight the good fight. You have to be willing to endure. You have to be willing to persevere. And so we have to be willing to continue and to run that race. And that means that we have to be willing to go through suffering of people mocking us and people who are going to try to destroy our faith. So let us be ready to do that. Let us look in the Old Testament and see some of these examples, especially as we look at Psalm. It's a lot of looking at David and others that wrote these Psalms and see how we can use it to our advantage to help our faith, to strengthen our faith, to see how it is they overcame temptation. So I want to thank you for joining me today. Again, always encouraging. It's always a blessing every morning God lets us get up. So let us take advantage of this blessing God has blessed us with today and go and shine His light. I thank you for joining me, and I will talk to you later.